Whenever you're ready, Captain.
Captain's log, stardate 54-140.7. I've just received orders to rendezvous with the Hornet and transfer supplies to an outpost known as Ross 893. It's a welcome diversion after a week's worth of uneventful patrols. We'll be transferring some new science equipment. Still rather dull, but better than patrol. In Captain's log.
All right. So for the first scene, kind of like usual, start off with a bit of roleplay for you guys on anything you wish to do. The Tereshkova has, as indicated in the captain's log, just rendezvoused with the Hornet and has already picked up the supplies and is on its way to Ross 893.
I think Karen still has to do the away team training, but I don't want to monopolize everyone's RP time with Ratala because I've been doing a lot of stuff with her.
Ratala had something she needed to do with the captain, anyways. That's
Don't worry about it. You're not gonna take up. You're not like, if you take up, 45 minutes, that may be a little much. But if it's gonna take 10 minutes, just do it.
And then the one thing I was wondering about then is Ratala has something fairly important that she does need to talk to the captain about. I don't know if we'd have time for that, but
We have time for it all, or a
alright,
lot of it, probably.
hopefully.
You want to go, nurse?
No, this can wait until after the game. It's not that important.
Okay.
Alright. uh, is the captain on the bridge?
Yes.
I guess he's still. Excuse me, Captain, sir, may I have a moment of your time? I'd like to speak with you in private.
Sure. Have someone take your station. I'll be in my ready room.
Yes, sir. I'll call Simon up to take my station. Yes. Or sorry, Ratala will, and then she'll wait for the captain to enter first because she isn't, Right.
Oh. Yeah.
And as soon as the door closes behind her, if I may, Captain, I would like to apologize for my earlier outburst on the bridge. I realized that it was extremely inappropriate and frankly could have earned me a court-martial or being put in the brig, but
It's definitely not that egregious, but it's definitely uncalled for.
it is. I simply wanted to. Well, I'll put it like this, sir. I'm not going to provide any excuses. I'm aware that what I did was wrong and, as you said, uncalled for, and I'm willing to accept whatever punishment you deem necessary. And she, not even sitting down, just kind of holds her hands behind her back in a sort of at ease position. Legs sort of about shoulder width apart.
It was an unfortunate situation, but we weren't in the middle of a crisis, so I'm not interested in anything other than your understanding of proper procedure and going forward.
Yes, sir. I won't let it happen again.
Good. Was there anything else?
No, sir, that was all. Oh, God. Sorry. Keep accidentally pinging myself.
Well, if there's nothing else, then we should return to the bridge.
Yes, sir. Rotala makes her way back out. God, I'm becoming more like Worf every day.
I'll believe it when you jump over the center console.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my chance.
With magic phaser.
Does Ritala have a chair? If so, she actually has a leg up on Worf, who didn't get a chair until Generations.
She does not have a chair.
Ooh.
No.
Someone on the bridge is always not allowed to have a chair. That's just tradition.
Who is the highest fitness? Probably either me or maybe the captain? Or, Caleb even? No, anyways.
Yeah, me and you are tied.
Yeah. I'll have to... I still have a... I'll have to boost mine up to 11 then when I get the chance. Or my daring.
Fitness is a dump stat. It's mostly useless.
Okay, daring it is then.
It's mostly useless. You don't use it 99% of the time, but when you do use it, you might die if you roll bad.
Oh.
And fitness gives you more stress.
There's that too.
Anyone else?
Like I said, mine can wait until after.
We have open time now.
You know what? If no one else will, I will. Sorry that I keep,
Oh, don't apologize for it. It's fine. But I refuse. Actually, I'm not interested. So.
Oh, is that sarcasm?
Yeah, it's sarcasm. Excuse me. Excuse me. Still getting over that cough. It's almost gone though. But yeah, if you want to do something, I'm happy to.
So, GM, what does away team training look like on the holodeck?
It depends on the type of weight team training. Are you doing security exercises, meaning it's essentially combat training, hand to hand, phasers, like target practicing, or general skills? But essentially, I leave that up to you guys.
I think. Where would. I think Ritala would probably want to start them on basic survival. They probably have basic survival training though, right? Just as part of Starfleet Academy. I think.
They would. I mean, that's kind of the fundamentals that you start at as a fresh recruit.
Right.
That's why we all have a security of at least one.
So I guess in that case, she'd probably start on I mean, everyone's got phasers, so maybe a little bit of basic marksmanship training. If they've got basic survival, just to get all the bases covered. So it would probably be either marksmanship or, practicing on probably dummies at first with like martial arts type of stuff, and then more advanced survival techniques is probably how the battery thinks you'd do.
Hologram dummies?
Yeah, probably. An unmoving target, basically, at first.
Okay, so Karen is already going to be waiting in the holodeck, wearing you've all seen the Discovery gym stuff where it's just a shortened version of the title in like gym shorts. It's basically that.
Mm. Okay. Tall, I guess, maker. I probably just. God. Um, is this happening just after Rotola's met with the captain? Actually,
If you wanted to.
it just determines whether I'm sending someone onto the bridge to, you know, take my place, or if this is taking place slightly in the past, or how the timing works. Because sure, let's just go with that to make it move along. So again, Simon will be on the tactical station. And Ritala, I guess, as she enters the holodeck, she's probably she's dressed in a similar sort of workout outfit, just a basic uh, 1 second. Essentially like just a nice tank top, sweat shorts, that sort of thing. Nothing simple, easy to move around in, but sort of thing. Ah, nurse, you have come for your lessons, I assume.
Yes, Lieutenant. I probably should have learned this earlier, or at the very least studied it more before I was selected, but
Do you have, aside from your basic training and self-defense training in the academy, what sort of experience with this type of thing do you have, if any?
I've been on a few away missions beforehand in studying of peaceful creatures. I have been part of diplomatic parties to that
With,
crystal world.
close combat training, I mean.
I did basic at the academy. I just haven't gotten in the chance to get into a shootout. Should I?
No, it's best that you avoid that sort of thing, but I like to start with the, unarmed training, just in case you don't have a phaser on hand. It's, well, you can throw punches all you want, but if you don't know where to hit someone, it's,
Dang it.
often quite useless. And considering that you're not just facing humans or just facing Romulans or Trill, etc., etc., it's good to know where to hit people and when. So, and of course, you might always end up unarmed without your phaser sometime, and then you might not have a way to defend yourself. So, let's see. I'm just computer activate program Rotala 32, and essentially what this looks like, it's basically a very simple gym setting, nothing special about it. The room the computer pops up is very bare, actually, aside from what look like a couple of, they're sort of model, there's essentially just a human, or just what looks like a human, how do I put it, like a holographic image of a human that's very clearly holographic but still shaped exactly like a person, and then a Vulcan and a Klingon sort of just lined up a couple of feet apart from each other each. I assume you. How familiar are you with Vulcan and Klingon physiology, nurse?
I studied xenobiology. I am aware that that the Klingons have multiple redundancies, so punching them will be kind of hard.
Yes, and Vulcans are quite strong, so, but, well, we're not going to start you on moving targets, obviously. That would be a bit difficult. God, excuse me. So I'm kind of making stuff up as I go, so I might stumble a bit. Now, as you said, Klingons do have a little bit, quite a few redundancies, so why don't you just show me just a basic punch, or how you think you're supposed to punch, and we'll start from there. Just
GM,
start
you
by
want me to
making
roll?
Yeah, sure,
No.
just, or, no, okay.
So the best way I can describe it is sort of like a. She's definitely learned to punch something, but she hasn't actually needed to punch something, so she basically does it as textbook as possible, even to the point where it almost looks kind of mechanical. It's a very in and out, very quick motion on the human target.
Okay, is she, like, positioning wise, is she, like, keeping her hands down, like, covering her face with the other hand, or just kind of one hand at the side, just swinging? Sorry, I hit my microphone.
Well, like I said, she's been to basics, so she knows kind of what she's doing. It's just rote memorization and muscle memory rather than actual fighting instincts.
Okay. Well, you certainly know the basics, Ratala says, and kind of comes up beside the... God, I used to take karate. That was... comes up beside the lieutenant, or not, the nurse, and, nods. Not bad, but you haven't been in a real fight in either a very long time or ever, I imagine?
And I'm still trying to keep it that way for the most part.
Alright, so, here, let me just show you something. What you'll want to do is sort of position yourself like this, knees bent ever so slightly, and Ratala stands in front of the Vulcan target, and, bends her knees, raises her hands, and sort of keeps one fist in front of her head as she, jabs at the Vulcan target and just clocks it in the face. It recoils sort of in a mostly realistic manner, although it's a hologram. That's what your basic jab should look like, but remember, when you're in a fight, you don't want to be too predictable. Don't come in from the same side too many times. Vary your movements. Keep yourself in motion if you can, essentially. The less you move, the more predictably you move, you're going to, the easier a target you are.
So you should consciously think about where you're moving and stuff?
You should, yes. Try to keep your opponent guessing.
She gives a quick nod and tries to replicate best as she can what she just saw. She's mostly got it, but there's just like a bit too much of a curve to it.
Like she's coming in from the side too much.
Yeah.
Okay. So, getting the hang of it, but instead of coming in from the side with your fist like that, you'll want to, as you punch, you're going to set your back foot back a little bit, and you want to push off with your feet, not moving, but stepping forward into the punch as you move, and rather than swinging, bringing your fist in from the side, you want to essentially rotate your entire shoulder to, as you move, to bring your face into the target. And of course, make sure to keep your hand up, but it seems like you've got that down. So, and then replicates essentially what she described, pushing off with her foot a little bit as she punches, and rather than bringing her fist in from the side, she's swinging her shoulder with the motion to give it a little bit of extra momentum.
As a question, mostly for people like not doing it. When do you want me to wrap it up? For this.
I was thinking we could sort of get into the basic motions, then just like montage the rest of it,
Hell yeah, montage. We need montage music.
Yeah. I'm a little making stuff up as I go, so I don't want to keep people for too long. I also have like zero experience actually fighting things IRL. Yeah, and I guess she'll essentially just spend the next I'd say start off with 30 minutes just going through the basics of fighting with the nurse, focusing mostly on punches, getting her into, just since she has the basics down, making sure she's able to do it fluidly, and rather than just and moving on from just doing single jabs to I guess how should I put it, going a little bit more rapidly, keeping the pressure up, and she's just going to focus on the basics like that for the rest of the lesson.
Gotcha. And I'm going to be guessing if we are going to roleplay this IRL, if we're actually going to be roleplaying this in real time next time, do you want to do you, words are hard.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. But yeah, do you want to end the scene now so others can get their chance to do fun things?
Yeah, sure. We've been going for a little while.
All right. All right.
I guess one thing to note, Ritala would be fairly I don't want to say gentle with the nurse, but patient. Like, she's not going to push her too hard, even if she is going to be a little bit harsh. Like she's not going to push her until she starts puking. Basically, is what I'm saying. Keeping her within her limits, taking it slow at first. And that's it essentially.
Gotcha.
I believe Lieutenant Vogel was taking inventory in the cargo hold, all the equipment they just picked up.
Yes. So basically, I'm just gonna be finding commanders. Wherever the commander is.
Probably his quarters if we're just at Green Alert and just cruising along.
Right, I will ping the computer for commander's location, and then it goes.
Commander Joan is currently in his quarters.
And I will head there. Those look like the junior officer quarters.
The left, but
Oh, never mind. I see it. I was zoomed in a bit. And I will ping the door.
Uh, press the contact to open the door, and Joe, just still in his civvies, just kind of blinks awake a bit. Yes.
Sorry to disturb you, Commander. I have the inventory for the science equipment.
Give you that. Come in.
And I will have the pads sticking out for him.
Kind of reaches out for the pad, grabs it, starts walking into his quarters to take a seat. Sit at his desk to start reading over the inventory. Anything odd to report?
Everything seems pretty standard. I am questioning the need for a quantum mass spectrometer. Generally, that's not a piece of equipment that the Starfleet would give out to deep space outposts.
Wasn't what's their name again? Right. Wasn't Cecile working on that project that needed it? I remember the requisition coming through and having an argument with a certain Bolian last week.
Isn't Cecile on the other ship?
Oh wait, no, that's who I was arguing with. Hold on. Starts pressing at the thing, and he blinks a bit more as he seems not entirely awake.
So when you say the name, I will look at you puzzledly. I do not think that's a word, though.
Grosnin, that's who it was. Yeah, apparently the someone on the Kismet wanted the exact same requisition, and we kind of bumped them on it. Also helped that we're closer, so.
I see. But
They didn't send it to you directly, though? I would assume they would have informed you first before sending off the requisition to me.
this was just what was on the list for the. It's going to an outpost, right? Like I got that right.
Yes.
Okay. This is just what was listed as the inventory en route to the outpost.
Oh. So this is even. Oh, okay. So this is even the one she requested. So, wait a minute. I'm a bit rusty on my scientific equipment, but what exactly would a quantum mass spectrometer be used for? I mean, I read the brief, but that doesn't mean I actually 100% understand what it is.
It is used to measure quantum wave signatures.
Hmm. Wouldn't normal sensors be able to do that? Puts down the pad.
This is a more specialized piece of equipment with a higher resolution than normal sensors. It's a very complex piece of equipment and very hard to have produced. That is why they don't send them out to the deep space outposts too often, if at all.
Well, someone out there, knowing how fast everything's been moving out here, shakes his head at that. It's likely that they were probably waiting for this for a while, or they had a friend that pushed for it. I mean, heck, we still don't have one yet. As you say, it's one of those things that we just don't, we try not to, we're fairly stocked up for most ships, but we try not to carry stuff that we're not going to use.
As you say, Commander. But everything is accounted for and is in cargo base 6.
Very good. Any hazmat we need to worry about?
No, sir. Everything that needs to be in containment is already.
All right.
Everything else is empty.
He picks up the pad, taps at it some more. Runs his thumb across one of the contacts at the bottom. I've received your report, Lieutenant. Holds the pad back out.
And I'll take it. Was there anything else, Commander?
Actually, there was. What are your thoughts on this outpost? What do you know about them?
I don't have much information on the outpost, Commander.
All right. Either get someone yourself or someone in your department to research a bit on the outposts. See if there's anything that they might need from us. That way we can get ahead of any requests they have by the time we get there. When it comes to deep space outposts like this, there's always the little things that don't necessarily come up the chain for orders, but the outpost needs help with anyway. And the last thing the captain needs to hear is complaints in his hail the minute he gets there, and we're sitting there ignorant.
Yes, Commander.
Other than that, you're dismissed.
Thank you, sir. And I'll walk out of the room.
And Joan will begin his process of waking himself up because his shift's probably is starting in, that's about 10 minutes. Yep, he needs to hurry up.
Anybody else? And you want to look?
Fancy new internet has just decided to die on me.
Oh, people are messaging me.
I suppose I'll go to the bridge.
Yeah, I think the episode proper is able to start now.
Commander, you arrived on the bridge.
Captain. So I just walk over to his seat, poking at a pad, and blinks a few times.
You'll be thoroughly overjoyed to learn that there's nothing but space between us and the outpost. Not a warbird or a cube in sight.
A nice, pleasant cruise. Can't complain about that too often.
Not even an anomaly that some junior scientist 10 decks below could bother me about stopping.
Quite frankly, sir, I've had enough of pleasure cruises as of late. Pleasant cruises, rather.
Sometimes, Lieutenant, that's the job, though. Just have to keep the engine that is the Federation going.
Indeed. And keep wishing for a handful of warbirds, I suppose.
Nix the wishing on warbirds, please.
Yes, sir.
You can always sign up for patrol duty with one of the fleets up coreward. I hear they do their swing bys into Romulan space every now and again.
Klingon warbirds, sir. I'm not looking to encounter the Tal Shiar ever again.
You've been to Romulan space recently, haven't you?
Myself, sir? Yes.
Oh,
Well,
you'll have to tell us stories.
Aye, sir. Kind of looks down at his pad and seems mildly uncomfortable as he taps out a report. But yes, as for the Klingons, and he kind of looks over at up at T'Cheric. Did you read the reports about the border tensions a couple months ago?
I looked them over, sir.
Yeah, I think quite a few ships had nice friendly hellos with Klingon ships a little one too many times, considering we're allies.
It is a little bit unusual, I suppose, although I'll admit my experiences with Klingons tend to be of the less positive variety already. We tend not to get along well, sir. As much as I wish we would.
I wouldn't take it personally. Klingons don't get along with each other. It's part of the fun, I think it was.
They especially don't get along well with Romulans.
Oh. I believe we're getting a message, sir.
Is it audio or visual?
It's incoming hail from the research outpost, sir.
On screen.
I will put it on screen.
And on screen appears a slightly older gentleman wearing a typical Federation research lab wear. Tereshkova, this is Dr. Ellis Palmer. I was wondering on an ETA when you arrive here.
Helm. ETA.
6 hours, sir.
We'll be there in about 6 hours.
Yes, I think you could come by a little bit quicker. Really could use those supplies.
I'm afraid not. The engine is spec'd for a certain speed, and I can't violate that unless someone's in danger.
Of course. Well, if there's by any chance you can get here any quicker, Captain, I would really appreciate it. And while he's saying that, the screen looks like the transmission starts to get a little staticky.
We're getting a little interference on your side. Is everything all right?
We're transmitting 100%, and then he just kind of stops and looks puzzled for a moment. As he looks, and then you notice that the lights on the outpost start to dim, and then the communication cuts.
Can we get them back? Let's try to boost the signal.
Oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
As do I.
Lieutenant Caleb.
Caleb, I'm here.
The outpost is no longer receiving, sir. It's
Can you-
as if their receiver's off almost.
Never mind. All right, Helm, take us to maximum warp. Go ahead. What's our ETA at maximum warp?
We'll be there in 2 hours.
Okay.
Lieutenant Vogel,
Commander.
from what you've read about the research outposts, are they in disrepair or behind on resupply?
I wasn't able to find out much on the outpost. Their research is highly classified. The only information I was able to get was who their research head is, which we spoke with, and the planet classification.
What's the planet's classification?
M-class planet.
Lieutenant Cherrick, are there any security alerts for the area? Pirates, border incursions, anything like that?
No, sir, but we are very close to Tholian space.
Can't imagine the Tholians being behind this. They don't like leaving the borders if they don't have to, Captain. They're very territorial, but not very invasive. Not these days anymore. Not since, hundreds some years ago, maybe?
It would be very curious if they were involved.
Have you ever been out this way, sir?
Never on a long-term assignment.
Lieutenant Vogel, try to keep our focus our scanning, our long-range scans toward our destination. Give us an alert if you see anything, even if it's a small blip.
Yes, Commander.
I think it's time to arrive at the planet. The Tereshkova comes out of warp just at the edge of the system.
I will do the standard sensor sweep.
For the system itself?
Yep.
Yeah, Captain, I was rereading over the fleet reports about the Tholian assembly, but doesn't get. Again, I'm pretty sure that it isn't them. They've only been bothering with unmanned outposts at best, but there is the standing order for Yellow Alert along the frontier, but I don't think we're that close enough for that to matter, and I can't imagine them coming after one of our research outposts. Now, without trying to start a war over it.
Yeah, I see it as unlikely that they're involved.
Mm. Knowing their poor luck, one of their equipment probably overloaded or some power system failed. That's why they're waiting for us. Some scientists out in the frontier tend not to explain exactly how they need to tell you how bad they're doing to get a supply run, but they can't sell themselves as too bad because if they do that, then they might have their project shut down by Starfleet Science or the Council for that matter.
Commander, the system is pretty insignificant. It's a Class K star, 5 planetoids, an M class gas giant, 1 rocky molten world, 2 ice planets. I'm not detecting any ships in the system.
All right, we'll go down, see what we can find out.
You're just at the edge of the system.
So just move to high orbit, sir, and a quick scan of the outpost.
Yeah.
All right, that will be a check. So that's going to be reason plus science, difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
With his difficulty 0, I'm calling it. He's going to tell us there's no outpost.
4 momentum gained.
There never was an outpost. Ooh.
I think that would be a little bit more difficult because that would be scanning time.
I am picking up the outpost, Commander. Main power is offline, and I'm not picking up the research team. I am detecting a strange energy reading coming from one of the labs.
You're not picking up any life signs?
I guess we could use that for a free question for clarification. No life signs at all. The only life signs I am picking up is the native plant and animal life.
Any word on what any idea what sort of energy signature that you're picking up on sensors?
Question 2. And my face just kind of goes blank. And I just stare at disbelief at the council.
Lieutenant? Gets up and walks over to your console. You all right, Lieutenant?
And that is what you'll see on the screen.
Report, Commander.
It looks like a strange energy reading that's similar to when we ran into Annika, the crystalloid. That's the most I can say. It's kind of hard to miss that particular energy signature.
Perhaps she'd be able to discern something more from it. Annika, that is.
I tap my comm badge. Captain to Annika, report to the bridge immediately.
Excuse me.
If it is like her, I think we're gonna have to quarantine the area.
Aye, sir. Recommend yellow alert until we get further information.
The ship is in no danger at this point, I don't believe.
At your order, sir.
You asked to see me?
Excuse me.
Yes, could you work with Lieutenant Vogel in going over some sensor readings?
I can try. I'm still learning.
Thank you.
And I will show her the sensor scan.
It's apparent, both with your mental connection with her and also kind of her physical body language, that she's puzzled yet shocked in a way. I am confused.
That makes 4 of us.
If you could explain your confusion, that would be helpful.
5, sir.
I'm sorry?
A
Nothing,
joke,
sir.
Captain.
Yes.
It's similar to when my people are in their crystalline state. However, it's still very different. And she points out the fluctuation in the wavelength.
Lieutenant, can you go ahead and match that against the database, see if it's known?
Lots of lieutenants.
Vogel.
Be a momentum spend.
Well, I do have one more free question. Can we use that instead?
It would need to pertain to the actual scan itself on the outpost.
Oh, yeah. Momentum send it.
Testing?
Yep.
Can hear you.
No, couldn't hear y'all if you were talking.
Oh.
Also, these internet issues are really bad. Like, it's. I'm gonna have to yell at Spectrum because I just got this shit installed.
Are
That's the way
you
of it with ISPs.
are you located far away from the internet source or the Wi-Fi source?
Not really. I'm in an apartment building. Like, it's like just a room or two away.
The only thing that's appearing close to this type of wavelengths is something called a coquette.
Calcat crystal. Wait a minute. Takes his pad, starts tapping at it. I read about this last week, sir. Give me a moment. Last I heard, it wasn't out here. Oh.
You're out of character. How's that spelled?
It's in Discord.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Ah, here it is.
Oh, hey, Google actually brought up our wiki as the first result. Nice.
He brings over his pad and shows it to the captain. I remember there was rumor that it was similar to the situation with Annika's people, but I thought they were different species entirely. The scans wouldn't even be the same.
Seem very dangerous to be around.
Depending which one it is. Lieutenant Vogel, can you, or Annika, either of you, can you determine if the visual spectrum light that's giving off is of a blue or red variety?
Might be difficult to find that out from here, but I'll try, Commander.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing we want to find out from a distance. If it's the blue kind, then there's nothing to worry about, everything's safe. If it's the other kind, we have an actual problem. I remember reading up the Captain. I remember reading up the report on the outpost that was lost. Similar situation. The outpost was overrun with the red type of Calcat crystal, and it basically started draining energy from everything. It attacked people who interfered with the station. But in that case, from reports, it was a case of self-defense, not an attack.
Can they affect biological organisms, sir?
According to the report, yes, they are sentient type of crystal. They're highly psychic, and only recently has anyone in Starfleet medical and science been able to translate their language. Well, what little we can translate of it, anyway.
Sorry, Commander, I cannot tell what energy signature it's giving off. Something seems to be blocking part of the signature. My best guess is it might be in some type of containment field.
How large a sample is this? Wow, you probably can't tell because it's inside of a containment field. Never mind. Captain, it looks like we're going to have to go down there and look.
All right, we'll break out the personal force fields. There's got to be some reason that Starfleet decided that we needed them.
Will environmental suits be necessary, sir? I'm not too familiar with the nature of these crystals. I don't know if they pose a sort of threat that type of gear would stop.
Well, according to the reports I've read that the Kismet ran into, these crystals are they drain energy from electronic sources. So the environment suits, it's not so much. I mean, the suit would protect us from perhaps the radiation that they give off when they attack things. But if they wanted to attack us, the first thing they'll do is they'll start draining power from the suit. Assuming that it's even hostile, it could be just the blue kind of crystal. At which point, they'll, if anything, it would repair our suit and keep everything clean down there.
Hopefully, it's
Personal force field should give you enough time to be beamed out if it's hostile.
Should I prepare a security team, sir?
A bunch of phasers is not going to solve this problem. We'll need a more diverse team.
Yes, sir.
We're going to need at least one medical personnel. Science, engineering, security. We'll need all of it.
Full exploration detail. I agree, sir.
All right. While you're doing that, we're gonna go to sickbay real quick. Doctor, I believe you're in sickbay at the moment, correct?
When you say doctor, do you mean the NPC or do you mean me?
I mean you. You.
Okay. Yes, I'm in sickbay. Shift just started. What's going on?
This is sort of a usual time. A checkup on a certain crew member who's been in the care for the past several weeks. A Lily Newman who was rescued on a previous mission a few sessions ago. Which time-wise would have been about 3 weeks in game.
Gotcha. I know Lily Newman, right? Like, I've probably met her.
Lily and Zoe Newman you weren't part of it, but they were rescued by the Sarek some time ago. Lily, they weren't really scheduled to be part of the Tereshkova crew, but Lily Newman was kidnapped when the Sarek was stolen, and then she was later found and rescued on a planet that was a pre-warp civilization with the Aztec/Inca type culture that was there.
I don't think I was part of this episode.
I think it was
Think
one
you
of the
were
ones you
there?
missed.
No, I think that was one of the ones I was literally not able to be here for.
Anyway, Lily Newman is currently suffering from amnesia. She has no memories of her past or her actual name. She's just kind of accepted that her name is Lily. And Zoe Newman is her twin sister.
Gotcha on all accounts. So I and you need.
She's in for her sort of her weekly checkup to see her progress and how she's improving.
Forgive me if I'm very confused about this, you know?
We found her nearly sacrificed on the planet with the temple and the Aztec-like people like 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Anyway, so she goes. Karen thinks and goes, "Need me to bring me? Need me to bring her?"
She's currently waiting in sick bay with her
I know.
sister.
Do you need me to bring her to you?
Who are you saying that to?
Like I'm. Ah. Ah. I am so sorry. I have no idea. Um.
Essentially, you're just doing a quick physical on her.
Okay. Again, I am so sorry about all of this.
She's in the room just to the south of where you are right now.
Do you mind if I go for a second? Sorry, it has not been a good day, and I probably shouldn't have come, like, to the group game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'll possibly be back. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was a little bit odd. Hope they're okay.
If anyone wants to play Reaver or anything like that, they're more than welcome to. If not, I will just cut this out.
I can take Reaver real quick.
Okay. Currently, both Lily and Zoe are in sickbay. She's there for her checkup.
Okay, so yeah, Reaver will just basically walk into the room and go, "Ah, Lily, how you feel today?"
Okay, I guess my stomach's been kind of bothering me a little bit.
Okay, well, let me take a look at that real quick, and basically just passes over her with a quick medical scan.
All right, give me a reason plus medicine difficulty 1 for anyone who wants to roll that, because I believe you're driving right now.
I'm kind of doing stuff for work right now.
Yeah, I got you. What's the roll?
Reason plus medicine difficulty 1. This can be assisted by the ship's sensors plus medicine.
I'll grab ship.
Using a momentum for cautious. Xenobiology work.
Yes, that will work.
There we go.
Good God.
Oh,
You're capped on momentum, and you have one floating.
Okay. Ooh. So yeah, Reaver's just gonna go, Lily, have you been near any sources of any type of radiation recently?
No, I've been stuck to my quarters in the holodeck, as well as taking on studies.
Okay, would it be possible for me to know which type of radiation has momentum spend?
You do have high res, so that's a free.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Newman's gonna look to Zoe and basically goes, I have to check something in on the database real quick. Zoe, could you follow me for a second?
She looks at you kind of worried in a way, but follows you.
Hopefully Lily didn't. And literally, I'm gonna look at Zoe and go, to your knowledge, has Lily been near any sources of beta or gamma radiation at all?
No, if she was exposed to any of that stuff, I would be too, let alone half the ship. What's wrong?
She's showing signs of radiation poisoning from high levels of beta and or gamma radiation. It's one of the two. I don't know.
That
Off the top of my head.
that's impossible, doctor. Or sorry, nurse.
It could have been something that either happened while she was kidnapped on the Sarek. It's something I think I can treat for now, but I'm definitely going to have to increase her checkups. I think. I think I can treat it with hyronolin or DNA resequencing.
Also reread.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Unless there's something while you were on that station that we rescued you from while we were on the Sarek. I think both you and Lily were on that station, but it could have been there too. I don't know. It could have been months before now that she was exposed.
I feel fine. I don't know what to say.
All right. Well, I'll treat her for now and see what I can find out in some research. But I would recommend that you keep an eye out for yourself as well.
Of course. Do you need to examine me?
I mean, if I could run a quick scan real quick, that'd be great.
You could spend one momentum for it if you want. You guys are at 6, so.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Okay. Well, Zoe, you look to be okay. The best bet that I can think of is it's probably something that happened on the Sarek after the Sarek was stolen, or on the planet that she was on. So I'll go on ahead and begin radiation treatments for her, and I'll do everything I can.
Okay. Do we need to tell her? I don't like keeping things from my sister. It's like keeping things from myself.
Yeah, I understand that. I'll tell her real quick, but mainly because we'll have to step up her trips to sick bay anyway. And explain to her why she's having to go through so many treatments. But yeah, I'll take care of that.
Okay. And I think with that, we'll cut back to the bridge. Alright, I believe you were getting ready to set up an away mission down to the surface of the planet. Our away
I think
team.
so.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, who is going down? And who is staying on the ship? And equipment that you're taking, if any.
Oh, that's the thing I didn't think to look up. I'm thinking at least Vogel and
I think it's going to be everybody but the captain.
yeah.
As in the PCs of everybody but the captain.
Where are my books? There they are.
I was suggesting personal force fields. It is a little bit of a cost, but it's for resistance. So that'll help some of the... Oh, I guess we'll send down, in addition to the away party, we'll send down probably Reaver, since the doctor stepped down. But I was thinking personal force fields.
It is an escalation cost of 2.
Oh yeah, everybody won't be able to have them.
Well,
Probably
escalation cost, you only pay for it once. So you'd be giving me 2 threat.
Oh, it's I was mixing up escalation and opportunity. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could afford that.
Is that another Borg cube?
I mean,
No,
you're one away
could-
from a Borg cube,
Yeah.
like usual.
Right.
So
Do we want to take monitoring devices? It's an opportunity of 1. I'd kind of rule out the personal force fields. We wouldn't be able to afford both for everybody.
I mean, personal force fields have a limited use as it is.
And actually, I was thinking of bringing along Annika as well, since she may be, she may have, she's closer in understanding them than we are. Our translator should be able to pick up something of what they're saying, but Annika's abilities to speak telepathically, if I'm not mistaken, you may be able to have a better connection than us, or at least a faster way to contact.
I was wondering if Vogel would already achieve that without putting Annika in danger.
That's up to Vogel to reveal that information or not.
I will probably veto Annika unless it's brought up why she would like that Vogel wouldn't be able to do the same thing. Because it's non-Starfleet personnel going down into a dangerous situation.
The captain is correct on that.
As you say, sir.
And Annika is actually familiar how to run the sensors, so she could technically help on the bridge. If the captain wanted to help.
Any ideas on equipment?
Without further information, it's hard to imagine. Even the personal force shields I might be against, only because we're not sure if it's a physical attack or if it's just a outpost malfunction.
Yeah, the force fields are to protect you from the possibility of hostile crystals.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could spend the 4 momentum and outfit the away team with force fields. Other than that, our standard gear should be enough since we'll have. Oh wait, we're bringing down one of the medical staff, so that'd be the full 5.
Keep
I
in
think we
mind,
have to pay the operation for each.
I think then we just go with standard gear unless the engineer wants something special related to engineering. It's pretty expensive, and
But we all have the protection. Like we do have enough time to gather it up and have them all equipped.
keep in mind, you're going to be paying the opportunity cost because you're going down the right away. Because they just.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just narratively saying that we have enough momentum to do it, rather than we don't have enough time to get it. You know, it's like, no, we have time to grab it before we head down, sir.
Can we create some kind of advantage or replicate some kind of device that the party can wear, and if they start having weird neural patterns or they start looking like they're being mentally
That would be a
hurt?
monitoring device.
That's what I was thinking.
A neurocortical monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's buy those.
I think they're op 1, GM.
Yes, they are opportunity cost of 1.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same cost. We're either bringing along force fields or we're all attaching monitors.
Much less threat.
That's true. I'll spend for that actually, just so we're all being monitored. And
Yes, I always get the feeling that we tend to overthink away teams. Like, just think about the shows. Like, they just go down with their standard phasers, their med kits, maybe an engineering toolkit,
It
unless
always
they unless
goes.
they unless they know something else is there.
We do know something else is there. That's why I was entertaining the thought of personal protection. Like there's a better than 0 chance that y'all are going to be mind controlled, attacked with radiation, or attacked some other hostile way. And Ritala can take a couple of hits, but not everybody in the party could take hits.
But I feel we do this every time. Like, oh, we don't know what's down there. Let's grab phaser rifles. Oh, we don't know what's down there. Let's bring 9,000 people.
I mean, if your character wants to stay on the ship, they can. But I think we got all the prep that we have. Like we can only grab one thing. We got the requisition. We got the stimulators. We could just beam down to probably the central chamber and just work our way around. Just scan about. Unless you think we should scan these calcite crystals, see what's going on with them.
I don't think you're going to be able to beam into where they are. You're probably going to have to beam slightly outside.
So you can beam in the research station. It's not very big. It's not really shielded, except for the labs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would know. But yeah, the research station, which I forgot to tell Vogel, it only consists of 12 scientists.
Oh, so it's fairly small.
Yeah.
Beam down in the like the most central area, and then go from there.
Which medical office supporting character are you taking now?
Reaver.
Alright. Anything else before we jump?
No, we got our gear. Everyone's got their standard loadout. We know who's going and where we're going. Yeah, I think we're good.
Ready?
Can we say those medical devices are being monitored by the other NPC, medical NPC on the bridge?
Yes, that
Okay.
is fine. Yep. All right. This is going to be a difficulty 3 transporter roll, control engineering. This is by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
We gain a momentum.
Yes, you gain a momentum.
And then you're going to tell us if the scene changes.
And the scene changes. Sorry. All right. You beam inside the actual research outpost, kind of like the main foyer area. other than the main, they're right now currently, as you look around, it is kind of very litly dimmed, as the only thing that's currently on is the emergency lights in the outpost.
The first thing I do when I rematerialize is I'm gonna pull a tricorder scan for life signs first, and then try to locate that energy signature.
Reason plus science, difficulty 0.
Sensor ops for a focus.
Sure. That's 3 momentum gained.
Commander, I'm still not detecting any life signs, but the energy signature is coming from that science lab, and I'll point to whichever door it.
Same readings as we were getting from the ship, or same level of detail, I suppose, is the better question.
There I am.
Is it possible to tell what kind of crystals we're dealing with? Since the commander kind of set us on the what frequency or something, or red or blue or whatever.
The shielding is still too powerful.
Yeah, same problem as we had up top. Makes sense.
Still can't get a detailed scan past the containment field.
All right.
So question number 2, since I think I still get it. Am I detecting any bodies or leftover biological material from the science team? Or can we see the bodies on the floor?
There's a difference between life signs and inert carbon-based.
Well, they're okay. I'll phrase this a little bit differently for him.
I'm still not finding any trace of the science team other than just a standard hair and skin residue.
Correct.
Oh, at least they were here. Well, according to what little brief I read of the Cowcat, these things might be draining the power from the station. So let's poke our nose in there first, and if everything's fine in there, we can worry about getting the station. We can worry about getting the outpost power back to normal, and look over the logs, see where they went. It's
I mean, you're kind of the main foyer, so you can. For 2 momentum, you guys could say. I could say you guys brought down some emergency power packs.
We have the engineer's kit, don't we?
Oh yeah, that's right. Engineering kits
Yeah.
would have it. Then never mind. So yes, I need from Calum a reason plus engineering difficulty 1.
Okay, reason engineering. I think that's a 15 overall. Just roll it flat.
14.
14. Still roll it flat.
EPS power systems. Yes. No.
I'm gonna say no.
Rerolling, or not rerolling, but negating with momentum.
Doop, doop.
Well, it is a difficulty 1, so you do get 1 momentum out of that.
You rolled a 1 and a 20. Way to straddle the problem.
That's funny, guys. Okay. Ooh. Sir, this seems to have been more like a directed electromagnetic pulse. Most of these components have been shorted out from the reactor.
I'm sorry. Directed as in, rather than say an atmospheric nuclear detonation, a more precise weapon?
Basically, this thing was purposefully hit with an electromagnetic pulse. Yes.
That is certainly disconcerting. Ritala reflexively reaches for her phaser pistol, but she doesn't draw it, just keeps a hand on it.
Is this station capable of emitting such a powerful pulse on its own? Do they have the gear to do that?
Not that I know of. I mean, this was a science station. It is possible. Let me run a quick check on their systems. I mean, there's got to be something that I can find in their systems real quick that would give me an answer to that.
Give it to you. The answer is no.
That's what I figured. That's exactly what I figured.
Do you think you can get the reactor back going and, at the very least, get this place powered back up again?
Sir, components themselves have been shorted out. I don't even know if we have the right equipment on board the ship.
We'd have to we'd have to replace the shorted out components, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it probably would take me days just to get it.
It's possible you might have the components, but you have to make a roll for it.
Well, yeah.
All right.
We also have industrial replicators.
All right. Let's focus on getting just pulling from their computer database, see if we can find any logs. We may not be able to access it from here, but we can probably pull it from their isolinear chipset and just scan it up into our tricorders. Try to see what it was they were doing before they cut out.
If we're unlucky, the chips themselves might be shorted out, but hopefully they'll at least have a black box of some kind.
So yeah, Caleb's going to start looking for the correct isolinear chips that would house the most recent logs.
That will be a insight plus engineering difficulty 2. And this is to unlock all the recent logs.
Okay. Insight engineering difficulty 2 should be a 13. Going ahead and I think I have that. Take a threat for an extra dice and roll 3. I think I have bold engineering. Fairly certain I do.
Yep. What did you need to do?
Threat, 3 dice, insight engineering.
Its difficulty is 2.
What are you trying to do?
Find the most recent computer logs and download them. Well, basically, read through them on my tricorder.
Essentially, he's creating advantage to get all the recent logs.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like locked or anything, so if I was gonna argue for infiltration or not. But reroll on the 0 for the possible complication. No luck.
You do get 1 momentum, and I'm gonna post this in Discord chat.
Okay.
Of course, it's too much information. Discord. Of course it is.
It's over 2,000 characters.
It is.
Whoa.
And I'll let you guys digest that information.
I'll need a little bit to read this.
Away team to Tereshkova.
Let me finish reading this first.
Oh. This is him sending it up to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tereshkova here.
We've gotten access to the logs of the station, uploading them now to the ship.
We're receiving.
Whoa. Sir?
Lieutenant?
Please tell me you don't have any plans on going in that room.
I don't now, no.
Also,
Perhaps.
I think I found out what caused the electromagnetic pulse.
Perhaps those environmental suits are a bit of a necessity.
Lieutenant Vogel, you didn't detect any beta radiation, did you?
One second. Reading the last one here. Okay, I read it. What did you ask?
Oh, I asked if you picked up any beta radiation in your last tricorder sweep.
I did not pick up any radiation, Commander.
Well, the logs explain the overload, but it doesn't explain why all the people are gone. I mean, sure, it's Dimecast planet, but they wouldn't exactly go on a random hiking expedition out of nowhere.
Well, sir, if this thing has emits lots of beta radiation and, according to these logs, have strong nuclear forces that are from quantum fission, it appears that they probably experienced the equivalent of a thermonuclear explosion.
Ionizing radiation and lots of it.
Exactly. Also, any molecular or bio matter in the immediate vicinity would have been instantly disintegrated.
But look around you, Lieutenant. We're not seeing any signs of devastation. The most damage that's been done is the EM fluctuations that fry the controls, but that can be done by a variety of things.
It fits the profile of an enhanced radiation weapon, sir. There'd be very minimal blast and heat forces, but enormous amounts of very lethal radiation. Realize we're not dealing with a neutron bomb, of course, but that's the effect you'd expect to see from such a release.
But that's just it, though. We're not seeing any residual radiation from such an attack.
Such highly ionized radiation, I believe, would dissipate quite quickly. I'm not much of a scientist, but that's what I remember at least.
Vogel, thoughts?
And when you turn to look at Vogel, you see her at the science lab. Commander, I have a feeling that I am being pulled to the room.
Are you all right? He walks over to you, so he's within arm's reach of you.
I don't know. That it's similar, I think.
Do you think you need to be restrained, Lieutenant, or do you feel all right?
Doctor, give Lieutenant Vogel here a scan. Check on that monitor.
And Reaver will go, yes, Commander.
Ratala lowers her hand away from her phaser at this point as she approaches Vogel.
I don't know, Commander. It feels the same as when I found Donica. Can't quite explain it. It feels similar, but it doesn't.
That lines up with the logs. They did believe that this might have been some sort of proto-sentience. They may be trying to reach out to whoever can hear them. And out of all of us, you're probably the most sensitive.
Or if they're simply proto-sentient, perhaps she's picking up on some sort of background emission that's not specifically reaching out to her.
Well, if it's the same life form, we have to help it.
Agreed. We just have to make sure we don't get ourselves hurt getting in there.
What's the issue? Well, although there doesn't appear to be any radiation still present, if another release occurred, there's a good chance that environmental suits wouldn't help us. Enough highly ionized radiation like that can penetrate through bunkers, several feet of earth, you name it. It might be a worthwhile measure, but it's not surefire is what I mean, sir.
Have a look around, see if they have any EV suits or containment suits. I'm guessing that they had this contained for a reason, given the beta radiation. Thinking of having Vogel and Caleb go inside and start looking around to see if they can check on them. But I'd rather you both had some sort of protective gear on when you entered.
Would you like me to look, sir?
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. And Ratala
I think you
will,
need to reread that last one there.
Oh.
Because I think you're overthinking it.
Oh, it's just when it's liquefied.
And even then, it's probably still in containment.
Well,
but if you spend two momentum to create the advantage that there are essentially hazmat suits.
Meh?
Yeah. I'm feeling like if we're dealing with that massive of a release of radiation, I feel like out of character the suits wouldn't help us anyways. But
I think you're missing the part where it says emit small amounts.
Oh, right. Sorry. No, you're right. I don't know how I missed that.
Can Reaver make a quick check to see what she thinks this radiation would do to those suits or the people around them? Just a quick medical theorizing.
It would offer some basic protection. It won't
But
protect
not
you
a
from
lot.
it won't protect you from a nuclear blast. But if someone's irradiated, it would protect you from that individual who is emitting that.
We also have medical serums too, so I'm not too worried about small doses of radiation.
Oh. Very well,
You should-
Lieutenant. You know more about it than I do.
Well, I have a one medicine, so I really don't.
Well, you have science. You'd know what radiation is. Like, it's beta radiation. It's probably not going to kill me in small doses.
You should be fine with the suits, Commander, so long as you take it easy, and if you start feeling anything, say something.
Very well, sir.
And then Tereshkova to away team.
Away team here. Go ahead, sir.
Command. Oh, this is not the captain. This is, you'll know this as the voice of
Reason. No.
Maria Desmond.
Oh, the doctor.
Probably does have a higher reason than the captain. Commander, it seems like Lieutenant Vogel has some heightened mental patterns. I'd be careful with whatever you're doing down there. It's nothing to worry about right now, but it could, it could escalate.
Very well. Continue monitoring. Alert us if anything, if it gets into critical range, or alert the captain for that matter. It'll be his call whether we get we have to be beamed out in a quick or not.
He's telling me that he's deferring to you unless it seems critical.
I believe we can continue on for now. Thank you for the alert, Doctor.
You're welcome, Commander. Tereshkova out.
All right. Time to peek on what these scientists are up to.
Need a fitness plus security difficulty 2 to open the seal door.
This is your job.
Yeah.
Mine?
No, I think legitly that no one's fitness security comes close to Ritala's.
Yeah, no.
It's not really hand-to-hand combat, so I don't really need that.
This is when you want survival.
Yeah. I might want to get that eventually. Anyways, here we go.
I think depending on what the crystals have done to this door and how intense you are about opening the door, you could argue for interrogation.
You're asking a lot of questions of that door.
Guessing that probably doesn't open it.
Russian repair tactics.
Wow.
Beat it with a wrench until it works.
Could someone else get in there and get some purchase on the door and help pull that thing open?
I think I can get it, sir. Just need to put in a little bit more effort.
I think Caleb might be the next strongest for an assist, maybe.
You can succeed at cost.
Or you can just try again and not have a succeed at cost problem.
Can I do that?
You can, but I'm increasing the difficulty by 1 by spending some threat here. So it'll be a difficulty 3 at this point.
Okay,
Maybe you are super determined to open the door.
I was gonna say through hardship I gain strength might apply, but
could there be a case for an assist where Rotalo tries to pull one door, and then whoever has the next highest fitness security tries to pull on the other one and force it open.
Although I am very determined to open this door. You know.
You might need that for later. That's why I'm leery of it.
Yeah. No.
Being the what you used it for. But I've used it for less, so it's hard for me to criticize.
We're only like 2 hours in, so I should probably save it. If I don't get my milestone, it's no big deal.
GM, the ruling on can Caleb help?
Maybe he'll get it too.
I suppose, but it's gonna be fitness engineering in this case, and he's going to. It'll be an assist, but essentially he's taking it from an engineering standpoint.
Does he have like a little jack or something in his kit? A little inflatable device?
We do have phasers.
Let's not be firing
That's a
phasers around
different
here.
role. Although it helps the case for interrogation.
Just point the phaser at the door. All right, you better start opening. Oh shoot.
Can infiltration help here? Because this is something an infiltrator would do.
No.
Okay, let's just go with our stuff.
Oh, I did insight. Hold on a second.
What's his fitness score?
Same.
Okay,
Oh,
then
never
no.
mind.
He missed it by 1.
Yep.
I guess I'll roll too. Probably not get it, but hey. Oh.
You have resources.
Yeah.
This is why you buy a moment. I will let you, if you spend momentum, I'll let you roll an extra dice.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
I think it's funnier if you just let him fail.
There we go.
There you go. All right, you manage to open the door. You release the manual seals on it, and you're able to force the door open. All episode is just us tugging on the door. Why won't this open? Yeah.
That door knows something.
I just need to look out.
All right. Inside the room, since main power is offline, the only thing that is illuminating is the emergency lights currently, like the rest of the research station. But inside the room, you see essentially containment, sort of like, well, I guess containment vessels. Inside those containment vessels, you can kind of see through them. There's little glass windows, and they're just filled with these crystal-like structures.
Step to the side of the door a little bit. Seems we found our culprit.
Jump into conclusions there, Lieutenant.
Oh.
We don't even know if this is what the cause is yet. All right, look around, scan, see what. Let's see if the Cherek's suspicion is correct.
I hope we're not dealing with several different clusters of completely unrelated, very dangerous crystals.
Space is a big place, and as many different humanoids as there are, crystalloids are a life form that we, as the Federation, don't know a lot about. We only run into I think there's maybe 10 in the database that I'm aware of off the top of my head that are sentient that we know about. Tholian's being the biggest one, of course.
I'm, for one, glad that the galaxy's a little bit strange. Keeps things interesting.
You keep reaching that phaser, says otherwise. He grins at that.
Well, for as many strange things as there are out in the galaxy that are nice to meet, there are just as many that aren't nice to meet. So,
Fair point.
Tallest steps aside.
So, Caleb, Vogel, are those things perfectly fine in where they are? Are they at all connected to what caused this overload?
I'll scan the thing again. Or is the... Okay, so what am I seeing when the doors open? I might have missed it.
So you see inside the room, you see various containment vessels containing crystals through little windows. These crystals do appear similar to the one that you found on Starbase 21. However, the crystals do kind of have this swirling motion of color change to them, which is a little bit different than what you saw with Anika's. But other than that, it's the lab, it's various, pretty much the typical Federation science lab with consoles, various workbenches, different types of equipment. There is a very big empty space, as if they were waiting for something special to be put there.
Are the containment fields still on?
There are no. It doesn't look like they're in containment fields, but rather in containers that are lined special. Have a special alignment inside them, as in it to block things from entering and leaving. They're made out of special materials, so they don't need to be powered. This you would
Okay.
know as a science officer.
All right, cool. So it's not hooked up to anything that I could get
Right.
like a what are they scanning type?
Yeah. They're very similar to the containment vessel you use to try to transport Annika from the shop
Right.
to the
Yeah.
Tereshkova.
Is there any computer consoles in this room? One that I might be able to power on?
There is, but it is currently offline because main power has not been restored.
I should have a external power supply in my engineer's kit.
Read my Lieutenant Calum, does your engineer kit have a external power source?
I believe, and he flips open his kit and goes, let me see here. Yeah, I got one.
And then I'll point to the computer and say, you want to give me a... and we'll try
Sure.
to power it on.
You put the external power pack on there. Console lights up.
And I'll try to go through the computer and see if I can find anything that might tell me what these things are. Because I figured they would have been studying it, so I'm trying to find their logs on the things themselves.
Most of the same stuff as before. They cannot identify. It's essentially the logs I posted earlier. The log entries. They have no idea what they're working with. They're actively trying to figure it out. It's not the. They've determined that it's not the calcite crystals. They are not sure what it is. It's not a crystal type they've ever seen before, but they realize that it's kind of similar to calcite in the way its quantum signature is.
Do they have detailed scans of like the other energy patterns? Something I might be able to compare to anything, any known quantity, or even Annika's race for that matter.
Give me reason plus science, difficulty 1.
Xenobiology or computers as a focus.
I will accept computers.
Okay, I'll spend a momentum to get a third die. And you said reason, right?
Correct.
I'll re-roll the
Uh, so yeah, 3 momentum would have been gained.
command.
Lieutenant?
These crystals are definitely not Coquette crystals. They are more closely related to the Zosic crystals, the same race as Annika, but their wave patterns are different.
Different how?
One second. Their molecular structure is different, and the quantum wavelength is off by 1.2 microns. But they are definitely related.
Any sign that they have the capacity or may have emitted that EM pulse that we found earlier? Or are they just wrong place, wrong time? They're just here while this happened.
It doesn't look like they could have. They're still in the containment fields.
All right. You think these things will be safe if we leave them in here? Like, if these things are proto-sentient, they're a type of life form. I'd hate to think that we, as we continue our search, we leave these poor things in danger.
Worse, it seems the people on the station were liquefying them.
Well, it's
Protosentience,
proto-sentience. It's ethically, it's
dubious.
he shrugs. That's for Starfleet Science and Medical to argue about.
Fair enough, sir.
And just as you say that, you do notice that there are several vials of a swirling blue liquid.
Sir,
Lieutenant?
are those what I think they are? And he points to the vials.
Did they just turn into a liquid state?
They've been there the whole time.
Yeah, it's the crystals, one would assume.
By the way,
what was the crystals when they turned into liquid?
we're in a new scene, so you go down one momentum.
Ah. So, Lieutenant Vogel, are these things safe where they are? Can we just leave them as they are?
They should be safe in their containment fields as is, Command.
All right. Well, it means we still have to figure out where the scientists went. Whether we have to prove if they were disintegrated, vaporized, or otherwise transported elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, these crystals didn't do it, then something emitted an EM pulse enough to fry everything in the outpost.
Or worse, we're dealing with something that can emit enough radiation to kill a research station full of scientists.
Way team to Tereshkova.
Tereshkova here.
Yeah, we've done some quick looking around, and we found these crystals. They don't seem to be the Calcite crystals. They're more related to the people, the race that Annika is a part of. But they are different in their own way. They don't seem to be. We haven't really found out what has caused the disappearance of this science team. Not really sure where to go from here, sir. Since most we can, everything down here, according to Calum, is fried. So to rebuild everything, we're gonna have to start digging up parts from the ship and start reassembling this place.
Can you guarantee containment and safety of crew members?
Without knowing the cause of what happened, sir, can't guarantee anything. I haven't found the source as to. I haven't found the reason why people disappeared. And from the last logs of this station, but they didn't know either. It just happened. I initially thought it might have been. Well, we initially thought it might have been the crystals that were here, but it doesn't appear that they have the capacities to do that. At worst, they could do beta radiation when they transform states, but that's not enough to wipe out a whole colony, a whole outpost, especially without trace.
May I make a suggestion, sir?
Feel free, Lieutenant.
Isolinear chips and logs made by the crew aside, perhaps we can find a black box of some kind on the station that would automatically record disturbances of that kind without needing the crew's input.
There's probably other scientific machines down there that we're recording.
I could try and pull the security logs and get visual on this stuff, sir.
Do it. We'll try to give you more once we know more, sir. Just wanted to update you on our current situation.
Understood.
This is going to be insight plus engineering difficulty 2 to pull up
All right.
certain logs.
All right. Somebody tell me what my insight security is, or insight engineering is again. Or is it insight security?
Insight engineering.
Insight engineering. I know the engineering's a 5. I think my insight's like a 9 or an 8.
It's an 8.
Okay. So I'm looking at a 13. So either way, I'm going to give you a threat to roll an extra dice. And that should be everything. Yeah, that's 3 successes, 4 if I had a focus.
You wouldn't in this case. So
Okay,
you
so
gain
that's
1
3.
momentum.
One momentum.
Yep. Air is in outside of the base, or okay. Sorry, I'm waiting to see if. Okay, here we go. Whoa.
Well, that's promising.
Sir. So according to the sensor data that I'm getting, right before the base went dark, there was some sort of disturbance above the base itself. According to temperature readouts, the temperature rose by 15 degrees Celsius, and it was followed by ionized radiation headed directly towards the reactor. Looks like some sort of weather anomaly almost.
Weather anomaly. So it wasn't some sort of ship or weapon.
Not from what the security logs show me, sir. It just some sort of disturbance, and then
That is actually from the weather
okay, that is from the
sensors.
weather.
The security sensors came up negative on anything.
Okay, that's from the atmospheric sensors. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
What kind of weather anomaly does this type of damage?
And what type of weather anomaly has ionized radiation? I could understand some sort of electronic surge, but
I've heard of
ionized radiation?
there's some planets out there that have strange weather patterns, but they're usually not classed M. It's usually like a demon world or something like that.
And they're usually not so sudden, sir. This one just appeared directly above the base.
Are there any species that we are aware of that can manipulate through some sort of terraform technology the weather patterns of a planet, use it to direct it or otherwise? He shakes his head like he's unsure what exactly he's asking. So strange.
Sir, Federation technology has advanced enough to where we can control the weather. If you remember around San Francisco, the weather is almost always sunny. Maybe a little bit of rain mixed in. We can control the weather on our own planets.
Well, what I'm asking though, and I'm aware of that, Lieutenant, Ryza has similar. We've had that sort of technology for a while as well, but I've never heard of someone using the weather, weaponizing the weather, per se. But it's possible that there's a species out there that does that sort of thing on the in some regular pattern.
But in the form of ionizing radiation?
Stranger things.
That is a fair point, sir. Well, at least we're not dealing with someone that's flinging around neutron bombs.
And at least we're not dealing with the unknown. Well, it's unknown reasons, but at least we're not dealing with any alien interaction that we know of right now. It's technological in basis. I can run through the systems real quick if I can get any diagnostics from this panel and see what all is offline, where I'm being thrown errors, but I don't know if I'll get anything right now. I might have to get the station up first before I can actually do anything, sir. Yeah, sir. I can't access anything. I need to get that reactor online.
Do we know that the reactor's safe to power back up?
I mean, as long as, is it officially safe? I can't really tell you until I actually power the thing up. It's like running with a warp core, Lieutenant. If you're running it, you can see if there's a warp core breach in progress. But if you don't run it,
Perhaps we should activate it remotely in that case.
I'm not so sure about doing that. When it comes to, I've taken some engineering courses over the years, and one of the things is that you want to be on site when certain things are going wrong, so you can fix it. Otherwise, we just end up detonating the reactor, and we lose remote control access. Some things you just have to get in there with your hands and pull.
But what if the reactor decides that it wants to explode the moment it's powered on?
Well, then during the power on process, I'll be thrown faults. And if any of those faults signify a drop in pressure, anything like that, I can try to shut it down.
But Lieutenant Kalem, didn't you say that the various components are fried? How are you going to get the reactor going with the appropriate parts?
I've got to replace the components first. Once I replace the components, I'll be able to bring it back online, and that's when everything I'll be able to tell everything.
All right. Well, let's get to this reactor then and see what we need to replace before we start beaming stuff down. If we're lucky, they might have it down here anyway. Although, as I recall, we were being sent here for the supply run, so we may actually have the exact parts they want.
We might, but then some of the parts that are burnt out could also have in storage as spares. I don't know. Once I get a look at the reactor and get a list of everything that's burnt out, I can send you a list and just try and figure out what they've got in storage and what we've got on the ship. Anything that we don't have possibly need replicated. If we can't replicate it, then we're, as the humans would say, SOL until we get another supply run.
Sean raises an eyebrow.
I prefer
Right.
foobar, personally.
Let's get to this reactor and see what you need to replace.
Yeah.
You make your way towards where the reactor's at. It's not very big. It's more closely that resembles a miniature fusion reactor. Kind of typical for most Starfleet installations.
And is this thing like big as a room, or like a fridge? I'm trying to picture how big this thing is.
It is essentially it's room size. Like it's not as big as a refrigerator.
Picture the ship's warp core in the middle of this room type deal.
It's about like that.
Oh wow, this place uses a lot of power.
Yeah.
They needed a lot of power to power this whole
Well,
outpost.
It's not an antimatter reactor. It's a fusion reactor.
So it's basically less efficient.
Oh, okay. So they needed the bigger
produces
room for a
less
less efficient power source.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking if it was actually like an antimatter reaction room, like, wow,
No.
that's a lot of power for 10 people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they do experiments that are that powerful. Who knows? But no.
So yeah, basically Caleb's gonna start getting down and dirty and trying to figure out what parts he needs to replace.
There are various components that need replaced. You just start ripping out parts that are burnt out. Definitely, when you look at the parts, you can see that they're shorted out, similar to what you expect from an EMP blast, and went straight through the shielding that's on the circuit boards. Or, well, not circuit boards, but in this case, like isolinear chips, because it is an older fusion reactor model.
Yeah. So basically I need a ton of isolinear chips to...
It's a little bit more complex than that. So there's
Okay.
different harnessing, different devices that need to be completely tore out and rebuilt. It'll take you some time to do it.
Yeah.
Most of the parts you can get, but but in order to get the parts, you're gonna have to call up to the ship with you can either roll presence plus engineering, which would be a difficulty 2, or you could spend 2 momentum to get the available parts sent down that you need to replace all the components with to rebuild the reactor.
Yeah, my presence isn't that good.
And we're sitting on 5 momentum. We can afford 2.
Okay.
I'll spend those.
All right. The engineering teams start beaming down the appropriate materials when they're called upon. This will be an extended task. So this is going to be a control plus engineering, difficulty 3, work 12, magnitude 3, resistance 3.
Oof, that's a
Am I
pain.
able to help with that? My control engineering is 15.
Better than me.
Yeah, you can definitely help with that.
If you guys want me to.
Yeah, you're better at helping out than I am.
And yeah, an assist in this case would definitely be welcome. I know for a fact control engineering is a 17 for me, so. Would I have a focus that applies? I'm kind of guessing not.
You are technically rebuilding a fusion reactor.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Your focuses are in Tereshkova chat.
Yeah. Got. Yeah, I don't think so. I definitely don't.
Because EPS systems are different than this.
Yeah, that would basically be if I was working.
If you're fixing the wiring for where everything was going, but it's not the wiring that's the problem; it's the actual reactor itself.
Yeah.
So if you succeed, you can ignore 2 resistance for every effect,
Yeah.
and
I think I
You can also do an additional work for every effect. So yeah, effects ignore resistance and give you 1 work.
It was
Your robot. I think we lost the engineer.
Typing up in.
no, I'm.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's looks like control plus engineering difficulty is 3. Currently have 3 momentum.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend 2 threat to up the resistance to a total of 5.
Okay, so you upped resistance to what?
5.
5.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna eat through it, so
Yeah. So I will definitely give you. Let's do 1 threat, 2 momentum,
2 momentum.
and if it's all right with you, Prax, I'm gonna go on ahead and roll my 7 challenge dice in this roll as well, just so that way it's already rolled.
you're using okay, that's fine. Whoa.
2, 3, 4 successes for me.
So 1 momentum gained.
Yeah, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 work, because that's 6 resistance burned through.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Plus 1 work for every effect.
Yeah. No, so I was counting like 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 9. 9 total work.
Yeah.
You and I was 6 resistance, so yeah, you just burn. Don't know why I bother putting resistance on these things.
Especially against me now.
That is 1 breakthrough. So you have Miracle Worker.
And it would be 9 work, except
Yeah, I don't think I have Miracle Worker on
You
this
don't.
character.
no.
So it's 1 breakthrough. Difficult to go down to 2. I am spending 2 threat to. You know what? Screw it.
Spend it all.
Spend 4. I'm gonna spend 4 threat. The work goes down by 8.
Whoa, hey!
Yep.
Hey,
Jerk!
you got a magnitude.
As you're
That's the important
replacing,
part.
as you're replacing parts, you realize, oh, this part's bad now. Oh, that's a defective part. Good grief! What are they doing up there? You're practically pulling out the whole entire reactor.
Well, Commander, you can definitely hear Calum shouting out obscenities.
Okay.
Whether it be in Bajoran or in English.
Real quick before you do the next roll, though, Ratala needs to roll 1 control engineering.
Yeah.
Because they're
For
assisting.
the assist.
Here we go.
Come on, complication. Complication. You're only supposed to roll 1 dice, so that's 1
God,
momentum.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm taking the first one. Doesn't matter which one I take, but yes, you get 1 momentum out of it. Because of the faulty parts, I am spending 2 threat. I am upping the complication range to 2.
So if Ratala had rolled that before y'all calculated, there would have been enough momentum to finish the work.
I forgot to roll, but
Oh well.
Well, you could finish it would finish the work track, but you still
It wouldn't finish. Yeah.
It wouldn't finish
You'd
it. You
need-
still need breakthroughs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am going to go on ahead and do the same thing again. 1 threat and 2 momentum.
Okay.
Down to 1 momentum.
Now you need to
12,
roll,
1,
Ritala.
12, 1, 2, 1. So that's
Roll Latala.
Okay,
7.
1 die or 2 this time?
just 1.
It's always 1.
It goes the 1, so that's max success, so that's 4. That's 6.
Yeah, that's 6
'Cause there's no
successes. That's
focus.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 work. And I blow through
Uh,
the resistance again.
4 momentum, 5 momentum gain, so you're max. Golly. Yeah, that completes the task.
We are
Uh,
engineers.
You hate me as an engineer.
No, it's just you're built for extended tasks. Just wait till I don't give you an extended task, and I'm gonna start using scientific method on you. Then you're really in for a world of hurt. But yes, that completes the extended task. You have successfully rebuilt a fusion reactor.
In record time, I might add.
You're quite the engineer, Lieutenant.
Well, these things are old.
They are, but still, that was impressive.
Thanks.
Ritala seems honestly a little bit shocked at how quickly he blew through that. Like, eyes are a little bit wide, kind of leaning back a little bit.
The training program on the Sarek was a lot harder than on starships.
I can tell, sir.
Well, let me tell you this, Lieutenant. I started out as a pilot.
Ah,
All right. I'm assuming you turn the reactor back on.
Yes, keeping an eye on all the dials and gauges or whatever in order to make sure there is not going to be the equivalent of a thermonuclear explosion in here.
Well, it's a fusion reactor. It's just an artificial sun that's cooking inside there. Um,
on the bright side, no meltdown fallout.
you power on the reactor. Takes a few moments, then all the lights start up. And the base main power is back online.
Oh, looks like the power conduits are working.
Oh yeah, that's that's a relief. Didn't want to tear through those.
No, not in an old place like this.
No, heavens, no.
Well,
So is she stable for now, Caleb?
she's stable for now. Let me see if I can run the diagnostic real quick and see if any faults are thrown my way.
It's good to get a little bit of engineering work in.
Back on the Tereshkova, on the bridge.
Oh no, they're all piled up in the elevator.
Well, they're not technically there.
Oh, I can't delete Caleb.
Good grief.
I'm gonna mark that quote down.
As Dr. Desmond up there is monitoring, Dr. Desmond gets an alert from sickbay. Who's playing?
Sure. What?
Sorry, got an alert from who?
No. So on the Tereshkova, the doctor, Dr. Desmond, gets an alert from sickbay. Just who's playing the supporting character.
I was, but I'm also now in the scene, so it might be awkward if I continue to do it.
I'll take it up. Dr. Desmond kind of furrows her brow and starts typing at it, at the console.
Is the away team all right, Doctor?
Yes, sir. It's the, just a report from Medbay. It appears that Lily Newman is acting strangely given with her radiation treatment. It appears that she's becoming violent and her eyes are glowing blue. I've just asked for them to contain her and isolate her.
Have Okay, I'll go see what this is about. Have continue monitoring the people on the planet.
Aye, sir.
Security, meet me in the med bay.
Not requesting a specific security officer.
It's gonna be Simon.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
I mean, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah, I think Simon is the default number 2. He's also. Yeah, because Talk is an ensign.
Yeah.
And if I'd wanted Talk, he was right behind me, so I would have said Talk.
Fair enough. I just didn't know if you wanted like a yellow shirt or.
I think they're all yellow shirts. I think you're the only red shirt security. That's
There are. Ratala would be a yellow shirt.
yeah. It's the Ratala has kind of an orange collar.
Nah, it's just the lighting.
All right. The turbolift comes to a halt. The doors open to sick bay, and you can hear screaming coming down the hall.
I run towards it.
The medical staff is frantically trying to keep Lily Newman restrained. Zoe Newman is frantically trying to help. And what you can see is almost this intense, with your visor, this intense heat signature coming from Lily Newman.
Clear the room.
Sir?
You stay right there. Doctor, if you'd step outside, please.
Captain, I have a patient to attend to.
She seems to be a little bit more than you can handle right now, Doctor.
And then all of a sudden, she stops.
What does the medical thing above her say? The monitor.
It's beating.
Does it show signs of distress?
No. Like, everything just all of a sudden went to normal.
Simon briefly quirks a brow, but he doesn't say anything.
Simon, make a fitness plus medicine check, difficulty 2.
Uh-oh.
Wow, that was an intense eyebrow quirk.
Just flies right off his face. Okay. Uh-oh. What's going on? Roll 20. Okay, I can't.
Well,
open
it
the
rolled.
Chat box. Yeah, I know it's rolling, but whenever I try to open the chat box, it opens it in a separate window.
Well, it did roll. There is a complication. You got a 1.
We'll buy it off because he's already gonna take some kind of problem for failing a fitness medicine check. So let's go ahead and buy off the complication.
So,
Y-
Simon, as you raise a brow and you're looking at Lily Newman, her gaze turns to you and you get very sleepy, and then you just go out. You fall to the ground asleep and unconscious.
I point to the doctor Newman. Get out now. And I start to pull Simon out of the room.
I like to imagine that Simon's a snorer, so he's snoring very loudly.
The doctor looks confused and worried for a second. If anyone wants to play the doctor, because it is one of your NPC, I just dragged in there. There's just no.
I can do this, Doctor, for now. Because I know Joan has the one on the bridge. Technically, I have Reaver on the ground, but I also have Caleb, so.
This is Team Ship, where we help save the captain from himself. I mean, we assist him with his duties.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love everyone.
Zoe frantically looks to her sister and grabs her and says, "What's wrong?" And as Lily just turns, reaches her arm out, grabs Zoe's throat, and sits up out of the bed and shoves her to the ground where Zoe collapses unconsciously.
So am I able to pull him out of the room?
While that's all going on, give me a fitness security difficulty 1.
See, this is why we need
Endurance?
Sure.
Probably not a wise idea when someone just got choked out to spend stress for a die. I'll just buy a momentum.
You got it. You managed to get Simon and yourself out of the room. The doctor, seeing what happened to Zoe, frantically runs out.
Oh, yeah. Definitely runs out.
As the doctor's running by, I grab her uniform and pull her down and say, "You take care of him."
Okay.
And I go back into the room.
All right.
I look at her. What do you need?
She doesn't say anything. She just kind of looks at you inquisitively. You see these. You don't see them, but you recognize the heat pattern signature. And it's very similar to when Vogel was pre-bonded.
Oh.
This definitely reminds you of the time when you had your encounter with Vogel at 21.
I point to the conveg. You can hit that and ask to go to the planet if that's what you need.
Take me to the bridge.
What's on the bridge?
You'll see.
What is a bridge?
The bridge of this vessel.
Yeah, what's it used for?
It's where the ship is controlled at, correct?
No.
You're lying, Captain. Please do not lie.
You can control this ship from any surface. I'm how the ship's controlled. You could control this ship from right here. You can't, I can, but going to the bridge won't help you control the ship any more than being here will. So we could just stay right here.
Give me present plus command. Difficulty of 3.
Probably too early, but I'm gonna go ahead and burn determination on peace as our first option.
All right.
Persuasion.
More like this.
Improvisation.
Try to sell me on the improvisation. You're definitely kind of lying because you don't want her to go to the bridge, obviously.
I'm not really lying though. Everything I told her was true. I'm just obfuscating.
Right. You don't want her on the bridge where she could do possible more harm. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't want her to leave this room unless
Yeah.
she's going to the planet. She can go to the planet if she wants to. They've got people down there for that. No, it probably wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, I guess it would have mattered, but I'll buy off the complication. Oh wait, I have bargain. What does bargain do, real quick? I think it lowers difficulty.
Gives an extra d20 when you're persuading somebody.
I would have count that. So, but it would have cost you 1 extra moment, or because you're actually buying another dice. You can roll another die. You can roll another one, but it counts like the same. The cost is the same as determination.
Because the second dice still would have costed another momentum.
Yeah, it would have cost another momentum.
I'll just take the momentum I spent back. If that's acceptable. Is that acceptable? Instead of rolling another dice? Or is that not an option?
Well, the momentum you spent was for the complication. You bought an extra dice, right? With momentum? Or did you give me threat? Because I did not hear you say.
No, so we had 3. I spent 1 to buy a dice. I earned 1 back,
right.
and I spent 2. Right now, I'm just asking, instead of buying another dice to roll a 4th dice, taking my bargain into account, just add my bargain to the original roll and give me the momentum back that I spent.
You could give me 1 threat to get the extra dice, though, too. Because you just needed another momentum or threat.
Yeah, I just didn't want to spend any resources on it. Like, if it's not an option, I'll spend the resource for the extra die. I was just trying to get that back.
Trying to think here.
It's not that big of a deal. I'll just roll. So that's no change because I would have had to spend a momentum and I gained 1 back.
Well, it's difficulty 3.
Yeah, but I spent determination.
To reroll?
No, I spent determination at the top to get it 2 extra successes. on Piste is our first option.
That's right. So, yeah, you would have gained the momentum, but you would have had to give me.
The 1, and then I earned it back, so
Yeah.
I should be at 1 momentum.
Yes, you're at 1 momentum. But sorry. Okay, but yeah, you're at 1 momentum. We're just gonna ignore that one there because that way, I believe everything comes out correctly. Very well, Captain. Consider yourself my hostage.
Why do you need me?
I need this ship.
To go where?
You'll see. Could you please pull up the external view on the control panel here? I believe your command codes would be suffice, as well as transfer all control of the vessel to this room.
We're going to have to take part in a little two-way arrangement here. It can't be all one-sided. Do you know what a bridge is, so do you know how humans work?
I am familiar.
Yeah. One of those quirky things about humans, they like to kill themselves before they surrender.
You can try that.
I'd rather not. That's why I'm proposing negotiations.
This body is merely a shell.
Oh, I'm not threatening to kill you. I'm threatening to kill myself.
That would be unwise. But if you feel you must, then you must. There are other ways to get control of this vessel. Perhaps Commander Joan would be more affable to assist me.
You can't really get far without humans in control of the ship, though. As soon as you come across another vessel, as soon as one of Mulgrove's temporary fixes in engineering breaks down, you're going to need someone to fix it, and I really doubt you can do that.
I think you'll find me full of surprises, Captain.
I find Mulgrove's fixes full of surprises, too, and that's the problem.
Who's Mulgrove?
Oh, shit. Because I look at Discord, I keep calling you Mulgrove. Calum. You gotta change your Discord name.
Can't. I'm on an iPhone.
Anyways, the fact that I said Mulgrove and they didn't pick up on it gives me hope.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
It's another thing about humans. We're unrational. I'm gonna continue counting on the perhaps not part.
As you keep going in circles while you're in sickbay, go back to theater of the mind. There we go. Back on the planet's surface, believe part of the way team went to fix the reactor while Vogel was in the science lab, still conducting studies, or at least going through the logs.
See. Is there anyone still in the lab with me?
I believe not. Unless Reaver's there. That'd be the only one.
Reaver's probably still there because I told her to keep an eye on her monitor
Yeah,
since the
probably.
weird surge earlier. And Joan's supervising Caleb's work.
Doctor?
Lieutenant?
I have this strange feeling that I have to touch one of these vials.
I definitely would not recommend that, Lieutenant. Perhaps we should leave?
I think you're right. I have to, and I'll grasp my my.
Perhaps what?
Grasp my head.
Ah, okay. You cut out there at the last second.
Yeah, I think I left the button to do.
When that happens, I'm gonna say, because Vogel just said that she wanted to literally touch one of the vials, Reaver grabs Vogel and escorts her out into the hallway and does an immediate medical scan on her.
Somehow Vogel has 3 extra resistance and laser eyes.
Oh boy. No.
And she can lift 20,000 pounds with her pinky finger.
Reason plus medicine, difficulty 1.
Yeah, that's 2 successes definitely for Reaver.
It's actually 4 successes. 2 and a 4.
Oh. Okay.
Because I'm assuming she had a focus for that. So,
Definitely.
3 momentum gained.
Yeah.
Joan the doctor, what's going on?
1 second, Commander. Something strange is occurring here.
What sort of strange?
I'm finding that out now. Give me 1 second.
Joan just starts making his way to where the lab is.
Ratala nods at the commander and follows him immediately.
Leaving Kalen there.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's just a
Oh.
fusion reactor.
He's got it handled. Like,
Commander? Vogel's brainwave patterns are changing. She probably should get out of here.
All right. Away team to Tereshkova. Emergency beam up of the away team.
Caleb, is that reactor stable?
Yeah, it looks like it.
We're beaming out.
So, give me from Leva. Control plus engineering, assisted by the ship sensors plus engineering. Base difficulty is 3, but I'm spending some threats. Why not?
Go ahead.
Complication range is going to 4.
I may have been a little trigger happy.
You very were trigger happy. Please roll the ship though with a complication range of 4. It doesn't seem like there is one on the table for Leva.
Oh, the highest number was 15. So
Yeah.
That's because it is impossible for Leva to not do amazing.
You say that.
I'm speaking fact.
She
the
should
sun rises,
still,
the sun sets.
She should have determination.
Well,
Oh, she's fine.
She doesn't
She's
need
fine.
it.
Yeah,
She rolled
you
between her and the ship. She rolled a 6.
You went down 1. You're back up to You're at a total of 6 momentum from what you gained, and the away team beams back up to the ship.
Oh boy. Reaver will look over at Vogel and go, any better?
And I'll just kind of fall to the floor, holding my head even and in more pain.
Reaver is going to grab her, look at Leva and says, immediate transport to sickbay.
Hold that thought. On the bridge, because I believe you're not there, Captain. Desmond's up there, but Annika was still there. Desmond, you noticed that Annika has grabbed her head, and she is in intense pain.
Strides over, takes out her medical tricorder, starts scanning her. Are you all right? What's wrong?
You can spend momentum. Actually, no, I'll just give it to you. Forget that, because it doesn't matter.
Oh, I see how it is.
It's the same thing I got for Vogel, I bet.
She's turning into a Borg cube. What? No.
She is the Borg.
Now that would be fun.
And for some reason, the Tereshkova blew up because a cube formed in the bridge. Like, it doesn't actually assimilate anything, it just expands out.
Okay, but that's what's happening to Vogel. But I sent it to the wrong person, I'm sorry.
You kind of did, yeah.
There's too many Discord messages. It's too many.
And out of game, I know exactly what I just said with Reaver. In character, it was like, we need to go to sick bay.
Miss Annika, can you speak? Can you see me?
It hurts. So much pain.
Come on, sit down, sit down. Takes out her med kit and tries to give her some sort of pain medication, hopefully to make it hurt less. Taps her comm badge, hoping that works, but doesn't really know because we're alien. Bridge to med bay. Deck containment done? I kind of have a patient here.
Doctor, sickbay is not the best place for anybody right now.
Of course not. What's going on down there?
I can't really explain it. Lieutenant Simon is asleep somehow, and Lily Newman, her eyes are glowing.
Okay, so...
And she just went through the pressure field like it was nothing.
That's comforting. Can you treat Mr. Simon there? Is the sick bay at all safe?
I would suggest that that sick bay be quarantined.
Dang it! I'm not supposed to be on the bridge. Todd, could you get get a seal on that room, please? Unless the captain tells us to release it.
Ma'am, doctor, lady. It goes back to the console. Starts tapping away.
Doctor's fine.
Two momentum, and you create the advantage that the sickbay area is quarantined and sealed.
There you go.
Vogel. As you're on the transporter pad, your brain, you can feel Annika. She is in the same sense of pain that you're in. And suddenly, for the people who are listening, both Annika and Vogel, they collapse.
I already fell to the ground, so I would assume lost consciousness.
Yeah.
Reaver is going to start panicking and look at Leva and go, I need to get her to sick bay now.
Vogel, you and Annika find yourself in a strange place. It's all black, and you see these, what look like these small little blue swirling creatures swirling around, more like wisps.
Do I see Annika?
You are standing near each other.
Where are we?
It's known by many names. It's where our consciousness are kept.
What do you mean by kept? What happened to us?
We got pulled in here somehow.
And where is here?
I'm not sure. It's hard to explain in scientific terms. And one of the wisps moves in closer to you, Vogel.
Do I feel anything from the wisp?
You feel emptiness.
And I'll point to one. What are these?
I can't explain it. They exist, yet they do not.
Are they part of your species?
No, they were created by the Dark Ones.
For what purpose?
To feed off of. they exist in the same crystalline structures that are the ones that I come from, that my people are.
But these are the evil ones.
These are neither good or evil.
But they want.
But they can be manipulated.
And they want to feed on us?
No, the dark ones feed off their energy because they usually can't get to us. It's more of a substitute.
So they're another one of your kind.
Not exactly.
So what do we do?
I think I can pull us away. Just FY, you go down momentum because this is a scene change. Off in the distance, you feel another presence as Annika is trying to concentrate.
What's that over there?
As the presence draws closer, you see an image of Lily Newman.
I will try to yell out her name.
As you do, you get the sense that she's almost lost, and then when you yell her name out, she comes towards you. Lieutenant Vogel, how did you get here?
I don't know. We don't know. Why are you?
I was kidnapped. I was forced to help with some strange woman who said she was part of Starfleet, but wasn't. We were on the Sarek, and then we left the Sarek behind. They made me build some sort of apparatus to interface with the human brains and other humanoid species. And with these blue crystal-like substance. The next minute, I know she turned the device on me and started experimenting on me. I tried to escape when they were kidnapping other individuals from pre-warp civilizations, so I escaped on a planet, fled to a cave, and that's all I remember.
Do you know how long you've been here?
I don't know.
So,
Hours? Days? I don't know. Time feels weird here. Like
So if your consciousness is here, who's in your body?
Well, I'm I'm still on that planet. That planet. I'm in that cave.
No, we found you. We brought you back on board our ship. That was in game time. How long ago was that?
3 weeks, roughly.
That was weeks ago.
That's impossible.
No, we found you on a planet and we were able to beam you up to the ship. You've been on board the ship for 3 weeks.
Who's in my body? I've I've been here. Are you saying I'm dead?
I don't think we're dead.
That that woman, uh, Sophia, she called herself. She was experimenting on, I would think, body replacement. I'm sorry, my memories are fuzzy in here.
Do you know anything about where we are or what you were working on or what
I
you were working or who you were working for?
It was a way to take it, and she pauses for a moment, trying to think. She said something about these crystals that they're like a blank slate, that she was going to use them to imprint her children.
Annika, does this any of this sound familiar to you?
The wisp are known to be an empty shell, which is why the dark ones like to feed off them, because it's convenient and they don't resist.
So the real question is, how do we get out of here?
Annika looks at you like, I can pull us out, I think, but I can't with her. We have an anchor point, but she has none. Lily kind of turns to like, please don't leave me. I don't want to be alone. This place is dark and cold.
Is it possible for only one of us to go back?
Annika kind of shakes her head. It would have to be both of us, or not at all.
Is there a way that we could bring her back Is there a way that we could somehow bridge her consciousness here back to her body?
Annika's like, possibly. It's never been done before.
But it is possible.
Theoretically?
Which twin is this?
Which Newman?
Yeah.
It's Lily.
Lily, I think the best chance to get you out of whatever this is we have to go back and try to find a way to bridge this reality back with your body. Do you feel any ties with your body, any physical presence, anything you might be able to latch on?
No, I feel lost.
What are the little wisp of lights doing in this moment in time?
They're just kind of swirling around, moving about just aimlessly.
Have you been able to communicate with these worlds? Have they approached you?
They. No. Wait. Before I. When I went to sleep, when I first awoke here, one of them passed through me. And then it was like looking into a mirror. And then it was gone.
What do you mean gone?
Like it vanished. You don't.
Did it vanish inside you?
No, it passed through me, and then it looked like I was looking in a mirror, and then it just disappeared.
Annika, is it possible that one of these entities here bonded with Lily?
Perhaps, or it could be inside her body, taking up resonance. You would have to force it out.
And how do we do that?
She just kind of sighs a little bit, and it's like, I have no idea. We would have to draw it into this realm.
And do you think you can do it? Do you know of any way that you can do?
We would have to form a bridge. And while that's happening, Doctor, you notice that Annika has been asleep, essentially. Her brainwave patterns are stabilized when they shifted, and she's sort of kind of in almost like comatose state. And it's the same thing with Vogel down in the transporter room. I quoted the transporter room. I need to know what the away team is doing currently.
Joan's probably gonna head up to the bridge. He's trusting the doctor to deal with this issue. It's beyond him.
All right.
Ratala's going to ping the captain on her communicator. Just let him know that they're back. Captain, this is Lieutenant Tacharik. We've returned to the ship, but Lieutenant Vogel's currently unconscious. She complained of severe headaches before she collapsed.
No response.
Captain? I assume no response again.
Yes.
Computer, where is Captain Elder?
Captain Elder is currently in sick bay. Sick bay is under quarantine.
Is the captain conscious?
Affirmative.
Ratala looks at Lieutenant Caleb.
Caleb, that's exactly what I was thinking. I figure Lieutenant Caleb and Lieutenant Tacharik at the same time look at each other.
Yeah. And taps her communicator again. Commander Joan, the captain's in the sick bay. He's not responding to communicators. He's conscious, and the sick bay is under quarantine.
There's not a response right away because he just keeps walking and blinks for a second, like what? In the... Taps his comm badge. All right. Well, get to your station. We'll figure out what's going on.
Yes, sir. I suppose we have our duties then, Lieutenant Caleb. And without waiting, Ratala starts off towards the bridge.
Caleb, without a word, just follows Tacharik.
Yeah. And
because his mind just shifted from engineering work to we might have a security problem.
Yeah, seems that way. Oh god. And as she's on the way, actually, she'll ping the computer again. Computer, is anyone else in the sickbay with the captain? And if so, what is their status?
Alright, Spirit acknowledges that Simon and one other medical personnel is currently in sick bay. But while that's going on, we'll be on the bridge here as the three of you arrive onto the bridge. And just as you do that, where's my sound effects? Well, I guess this one will have to do. The red alert sounds. Talk comes over. Commander, vessel approaching at high warp. Its shields and weapons are armed. I can't identify it.
Hail them.
Sir, recommend we move to red alert.
He points at the blinking lights. I think they're ahead of you, Lieutenant.
Oh.
Yeah, Caleb literally goes, we're already at red alert, and just goes to one of the back consoles, reports into engineering that he's on the bridge.
Right, sir. Sorry, sir. Reeling a little bit.
On the view screen of the Tereshkova, you can see a rather large, long-looking, it's kind of elongated, nearly solid black as it blends into the background of, the void of space. You do see like red emission lines kind of running down it, and what appears to be a swarm of some sort moving around it. Eh,
Does Calum
hold on.
recognize this?
Hold on.
No questions.
In sick bay. Lily Newman looks at you, Captain, and goes, "She's here." I think we should be on the bridge.
What's her name?
Sophia.
Okay, I can get us to the bridge. And I walk over to a panel. I'm gonna have to do it in a roundabout way just to keep you from being obstructed. I might have some overzealous crew members.
It's very prudent of you, Captain.
Captain Elder to Lieutenant Levitt.
Levitt here. Everything all right,
Levitt.
Captain?
Yeah, I have a really difficult task for you. I need you to do it instantly and do it without asking. It may seem contrary to the way Starfleet works or the way things are supposed to go, but sometimes things are a little bit more than we expect. Can you do what I'm about to ask you without question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's
Can
very
you-
ominous.
What?
No, I'm confirming what Jones said.
Oh. Can you beam Lily Newman into space?
With that, Captain, make a fitness plus medicine check difficulty 2.
Okay, I did not expect that.
I saw that one coming. I was like, he's either fixing to tell him to beam both of them to space or Lily.
I was expecting it, but not.
I had a thought to beam myself because I wasn't sure she could actually lock on to Lily, but she may not be able to. Can I use endurance?
And increased complication.
Spending all the momentum. I'm not going to take the increased complication range. Because that had meaningful impact. Can I...
It is a difficulty 2.
Yeah, but I guess I kind of want to succeed at what's ahead. I don't really want to be harmed. That's why I'm thinking.
You did succeed, but there's a complication.
Yeah.
You can give me 2 threat.
Yeah, if you'll accept it.
I'll accept it. So I'm going to spend it right away.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's not for the task roll, so... But you feel extremely sleepy. a slight headache as you feel this overwhelming psychic presence in your head. And just as you're about to do that, Lily says, Captain, I can't get a transporter lock. And she disappears.
Oh, crud.
Back on the bridge,
Yeah.
Status on Hale, and get me a security evaluation. Can we take? I want to see if we can. We have any chance against whatever that is.
Now can I ask, does Caleb recognize the silhouettes of the...
you do.
Sir?
Hold
Yes,
off.
Oh,
Tacos, Commander, we're being hailed.
Does Ritala recognize the silhouettes of the ships?
No.
No.
Teeks, plot a course to warp us out of here. The minute I slap you on the shoulder, just do it. All right, fast as you can.
With that, to be continued.